Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we make some guitar jigs. For this project here, we made a bunch of different guitar jigs. So you can see here, and here, and here. And there's another one, of course. So the reason for these guitar jigs is what the customer will do is lay this over their wood and use their manual router as the edge here, and then just go ahead and form the shape that they want. The nice thing about this is that they can make basically infinite number of guitars. So they pay us once and they can make 100 guitars out of it. So it's a very useful tool in that way. Especially if you're doing a lot of woodworking, it's great having something that's wood that goes on top. Of course, we can make these out of stainless steel, we can make them out of aluminum, we can make them out of anything. But it's something nice about wood for some reason. Anyways, this is laser cut. The dead giveaway is you can see the smoke. So it's 1/4 inch MDF. And the reason why I use MDF for these kind of things is because it's a very man-made consistent material. It's basically a glue and sawdust. And so, you know, if I make them out of plywood or any sort of other kind of hardwood, softwood, you can end up with warping and stuff like that with temperature and humidity changes. But in a shop, if you're just using MDF, the shop is a relatively controlled environment and you don't end up with a lot of problems that you'll have with actually real wood. When it comes to making custom router guides, generally what I make them out of is actually MDF. This is 1/4 inch. And the reason for that is quite a few, but number one, it's very easy to find, very easy to work with. It cuts very well with the laser. And sometimes I make them out of using the router, sometimes I make them using the laser, sometimes I make them using the plasma, sometimes the other laser. Each one has a plus and a minus when it comes to production. But in this case here, it's a very small production run of guitars and stuff that they're making. So they just need a template to last a couple of them. And MDF is a very cost-effective material. Laser cutting is a very cost-effective process. So everything sort of makes sense to use this machine and this platform to make what the customer needed. Now you'll notice that it's in little parts, and that's because when they make guitars, it's actually little parts that they make and then they assemble it all together. The nice thing about that is it allows me to use optimal amounts of the sheet, so I'm not wasting any material when I make their stuff, so therefore they're saving money all the way around. And also when the shipping, because everything sort of fits more compact than a full-size guitar template. Now when it comes to laser cutting and that kind of stuff, you'll see there's some smoke, and basically what the laser is doing is burning its way through the material. So this does smell like burned MDF. It doesn't really smell, it's a little bit like burned wood, but not the kind of wood you think is a campfire. It's just a generic kind of wood smell. And as a result, it does have some surface stains to it. If it really bothered you on your template when we make it to have that, all you really need to do is just give it a quick sand. Again, MDF is just basically glue and sawdust sort of compressed together with heat. So it's very easy to work with at your end. And of course, if there's any sort of things on the jig that are an issue, you can easily sand it off as well. Again, MDF, very easy to work with basically any tools that you might have at your disposal. Now the nice thing about lasers is we can also score in addition to cutting. So you can see here, all of the templates have something like this. You can see the score line. So when they're lining their projects up with their router and clamps and all that kind of stuff, they get an idea of where things should sort of be. Especially if they do a lot of hand carving afterwards, you can make little marks here and there so you know exactly, okay, this is the spot I need to do X, Y, Z, right? So if you're looking for custom guitar templates, any size, any shape, any material, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make it for you and ship it right to your door.